Yes, and welcome guys to the latest edition of ThreeTings. Um, as you can see, I'm out and about. Pasture's new, just situated here in central London. Thought I'd try and take this on as a road show, and yeah, just like different environment, But that being said, today I just wanted to speak on just like Trump and the psychology behind the tariffs, so on and so forth. Also, I've titled the next section "Who Really Needs to Integrate," and I'm just going to talk about sort of disintegration really, from a sort of majority point of view. And lastly, what we're going to speak about. Stilettos, yeah, right. Right, so straight in, I just wanted to say, like, I've been watching a lot of the news, the finance news, and just getting lots of little snippets here and there, and just watching as, Donald Trump goes around the world trying to make America great again and try and bully the rest of the world into submitting to his requests via business and just via his tariffs, Now, to me, it looks as though he's desperate to narrow the trade deficit with China. And I'll give you like a little story, a little rendition, right? Say, for example, I don't know, there's one supermarket with one customer, for example. You always go to that supermarket, you always buy from them, and they always sell to you. Yeah? You accept what they give you as a price. You have no reason to question it, and you can't do anything about it because of where you're situated and the relationship you've got, Now let's just say you take a trip to your local city centre or somewhere else. You go in their supermarket and you think, hang on a minute, the prices are different. I'm pretty sure I might be able to get more for my money here, But the trouble is, this supermarket isn't big enough or can't facilitate all of your family, the 15 members of your family. Right? It can't facilitate it. Yeah. So there's like a medium. You think to yourself, right, they're cheaper, but they can't facilitate our needs. They can't facilitate my needs, But at the same time, like, you come to think, right, do you know what? Like, I'm coming here all the time. Why am I not getting the best prices? Why are there places that can beat you in terms of price, but they're not convenient for us? And so, like, it breeds a little bit. The saying, familiarity breeds contempt, yeah? And, basically, they're now so familiar with China distributing and America receiving, and tending to sort of make the Chinese richer and richer and richer, whilst they've got these perishable goods that just get recycled back to China to sell back to them. And there's a trade-off, and it's all going one way. So basically it's just for reasons of competition. I'm pretty sure, like, if you're a big business and you've got a contract coming up and you want tendering for it, you want every company available. Say, like, for example, it's communications. You want Microsoft, Google, Amazon, whomever, all tendering for the services. And that obviously, naturally, as a consequence, should drive, like, the best price, the best or the best quality of service. It's just not all about price sometimes. So sometimes when you're buying from one individual, one source, it's to the detriment of competitiveness, and yeah, he's just, to me, saying, if any of these countries in the world, if you can produce something that China can, or at least compete with China, step up, come and negotiate. You know, he's trying to make the rest of the world enter into the race to distribute to America at competitive rates. You know, he's trying everything he can, because he realizes that potentially America, a lot of the rest of the world is indebted to China through bonds and in stock markets, etc., right? Now, the big target is obviously America, and America just doesn't feel comfortable with so much of the trade coming from one source and it seeming to be one way. But that being said, like, China's success is also built off of being a retailer to America, you know. So the two need each other, and there's a fine balance. But what it is, they just would like the rest of the world to pull its weight, and potentially, you know, if there's a particular industry that they feel that they can be competitive with, yeah, they come and let him know, you know, and let him and his administration know. That's all they want. Like, they're just pushing for more competition from around the world to relieve them of the deficit between them and China, because sometimes they'd rather have a little bit of a trading with another country than directly with China, and they just want to chip away at the deficit, you know. And also, he wants to bring back, he's serious about bringing back industry, you know. But obviously, I think they realise just cutting costs overnight or just doubling a tariff and stuff like that is not how it goes. And, you know, America can't always do as they've done in the past, and it's quite drastic. But to me, it's just a signal to say, come and negotiate. And also, as well, there is a sort of a military perspective. America probably realise they're financing a lot of the military operations. They're financing a lot in terms of NATO, and yeah, they're covering Europe. They're protecting Europe, obviously, you know, and they just would like Europe to, you know, maybe just input a little bit more. You know, whether that's right or whether that's wrong, we don't know. You know, we just don't know whether that's right or wrong. You know, but they just would like America to step up. You know, so that's that. Next, we're going to speak on who really needs to integrate. Yeah. Now, I said a flippant comment to, I believe it was my father, right, and I'm going to be straight what I said. He was talking about maybe he was talking about just something about the world, so on and so forth. And I goes, yeah, like obviously Europeans, they're about to get rabbit fucked, or whatever, yeah, right. And he goes, what do you mean by that? I goes, what I mean is like, basically, like, there's more people of colour around the world. Forget about what is prescribed to you on the TV. There are a lot more people of colour around the world than Europeans. I'm not sure how much they outnumber you by. It might be 4 or 5 to 1, but there's more people of colour or just black or from Asian backgrounds than, yeah. So evolutionary wise, what I meant was like, no, you will not be eliminated or anything like that as a white man or a white person, but just via numbers, via sex or whatever. Like, you know, the evolutionary step is like that, you know, your genes will be here forever in the human race, but we're going to look different. You know, we're going to look different, like, you know, as a people, you know. We're going to, as we sort of start to integrate, no one's going to look black, no one's going to look white, or maybe everyone might look black, who knows? Yeah, it just depends how the world goes, yeah. But that's just an evolutionary thing, you know. And why I'm speaking about that is because in the news today, GB News, it states that in as little as 40 years' time, white people will be a minority, fact. Maybe less time in the UK. And so for that reason, you know, I just wanted to give my opinion on that and say, there's more of us, there's more darker skinned people, of white people. Doesn't mean you are going to be eliminated in terms of your genes, but people are going to start to look different after years and years and years of integration. And everybody seems to be from somewhere different, you know, especially where we are in London and so on and so forth. So I would say, probably, you don't think of, you say about integration the other way from minorities. Sometimes, if you look at it on a global scale, sometimes it's the white people and the European that need to integrate with the people of colour. Do you know what I mean? In order to continue your genes and to be here, you know. Do you know what I mean? So, I just wanted to say, that's an evolutionary thing. That's something that politics can't override, and reversing the order, so to speak, can't override, you know. There's much more people of colour than there is of white people, and everybody's the same. We give it like a coin and say, no, everyone's the same, everyone can reproduce with everyone, so we're all one, right? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, people are going to start to look different, i.e. say for example, everyone uses Brazil, for a couple hundred years they've been mixing, you know, so that's the look of the country moving forward, you know. Doesn't mean you're eliminated, it's just your grandchildren and whomever else won't look like you, or do you know what I mean? And it's over time. So fear not, you know, but we're coming, you know. So, but yeah, it's nothing to fear of, and it's something that it's an evolutionary thing. It just cannot be stopped. But on the other hand, I would definitely say, I'm sat here at the British Library right now. I'd like to think, you know, everyone's culture, all cultures are preserved, and certain things are reversed, and certain things are out there because at one time or another, everybody's always had their greatness, and it deserves to echo in eternity and be recognised, you know. So, that's that in terms of integration. Next, I just wanted to speak on Stilettos, I said, didn't I? My YouTube, I don't know who controls it or whatever, but every single screen is about things that I've said I'm not interested in, but they keep on coming up on my Instagram, and it's stuff that I do like to know about, but then it's a bit negative sometimes, yeah. But then all of a sudden, I've had these females dancing in stilettos and sliding around the floor with knee pads and stuff like that come up on my Instagram. Yeah, I'm sorry, not my Instagram, my YouTube. All of a sudden, I don't know who's put it there or how it's got there, the algorithm, right? Right, but I'm there watching it. Sorry, this is going to go a bit lewd now. And, I've got a bit of a heated elevation, if you know what I mean. Just sitting back and watching and whatever and all the rest of it. But then when I was watching and I see the females of different shapes, different sizes, just getting their thing on and making themselves feel sexy, I just kept on repeating to myself, yeah, I'm enjoying the performance, but to me, I couldn't think of a better way. I kid you not, I couldn't think of a better way that a grown woman could express herself and make herself feel beautiful again. And I've been watching it on that basis. Can you imagine that? I'm a frustrated, high testosterone male, and I'm watching it from a viewpoint of female empowerment, saying you go girl. Do you know what I mean? Because I realised if you had a relationship issue or you don't feel sexy, you don't feel attractive, and you go and do that sort of dancing, put yourself on camera, get yourself out there dressing something sexy and whatever, it's so empowering. I couldn't think of anything like men. It's you go to the gym, pump up, whatever, get yourself some nice clothes, whatever. But with women, I couldn't think from a male perspective what would be a better way of making yourself feel good again. Being honest. I don't care what people say, man. I was just looking at it and I was like, man, power to you, because it was women of like all shapes and sizes, do you know what I mean, getting their thing on that every man would have a beauty for. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking, oh, she's my type, whatever, and all the rest of it. But then also, like, just from an empowerment point of view, without needing a man, I think, like, yeah, it's not to be introduced in school and all this sort of stuff, but my God, like, I couldn't think of a better way of empowering yourself through dance and making yourself feel sexy, dressing up nice, being with your girls and whatever. Yeah, man, I thought it was great to watch. So long may it continue. And yeah, that's it really. Anyway, I hope this message reaches you well. I'm going to have to cut short this video. I'm moving a little fast with it, but obviously it's where I am, not used to it, the environment, and obviously a couple of people trying to get in a famous man's video or whatever and all the rest of it. All up in the video, all the rest of it. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I hope this message reaches you well. Deliver this message straight to your heart because it's from mine. Okay, bless. 1.